and welcome to Annoyed Kitten and the next Drachenwald Files Fika with your fellow Drachenwalder. And today we are speaking to Duchess Vanna.
Hello.
Hello. So, hi, thank you for doing this. And
Thank you for having me.
so, normally when I ask this, people's like, oh, it was 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. How did you ended up in the SEA? And I say this with a smile because I know that you are our first queen in Drachenwald.
Yes, I was the first queen of Drachenwald, yes. But Drachenwald started without me,
Yes, I know.
long, long ago. I joined the SEA when I was merely 16 years old. It was quite a long time ago. It was in 1989. Skara had just celebrated its 1,000-year jubilee as a city or a town. And during that summer, there'd been some Scadians in town, doing demos and stuff. And they left behind a pamphlet at the tourist office. And I got a copy of that pamphlet and called the one of the numbers was there and got in contact with Lord Örnklo. And well, the rest is history. I went with him for an event in Arboga in the summer of '89, and well, I had a friend with me. Just because you don't go anywhere with
not when you're 16.
No, not even in '89. My mother was kind of like, am I going to send you alone with those guys? No, not really. So my friend Gunilla, she joined me, and she said that she would never do this kind of stupid fucking stuff again because this is bloody awful. And I was like, oh, I found my tribe. This is my people. I love them. So, and here I am, like 31 years later.
So that event, is that your first like magical moment in the SEA when you got hooked?
Must have been that, yeah, because it was so amazing. I mean, I was like any other teenager, a teenager is the most pretentious thing that walks and talks. So I was like, oh, I'm so special. No one understands me, and and then I met the people of the SEA, and I thought, bloody hell, I'm perfectly normal. everyone else is strange and weird and wondrous. So it was kind of it was a good thing for a little 16-year-old to to get a nice label of, oh yeah, you're not that bad. You're okay. You can do this. Yeah.
Sorry, he is what he is.
He's
so
cute.
so 16 years old, you started the SEA, and you weren't that old when you become Drachenwald's queen, the first queen of them.
Drachenwald had been a principality for some years by then, and Nordmark started in 84, more or less. And the path to become a kingdom had started in 2 or 3 years before 1993, when we became a kingdom. And well, suddenly there we were going to have a big crown tourney, and finally Drachenwald was going to be a kingdom of its own. And by then there was a traveler from Australia that had been coming to Drachenwald just to visit friends and to have a look around. And there was Sir Elfin, by the way. And he asked around. He was like, all right, this sounds cool. There's a crown tourney. I can join that. Doesn't say anywhere that I couldn't. So please, I can join this. And he asked around, hey, you know any girls that I can fight for? And Mrs. Kellerman was like, oh, well, you can ask Vanna. She's kind of nice. She's sane. It'll be fine. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was 20. Yeah, sure. It sounds cool, but I don't have to come to the event, right? Because I'm not at home. I can't go to the event. And he checked that and it's like, oh no, you don't have to. I just fight for you. That'll be fine. And then he called and said, hi, I won. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So wait, back then you didn't have to be at the event when
No,
someone was fighting for you,
no,
and you
exactly.
didn't have to live in Drachenwald to be able to fight in a tournament.
Oh, it was kind of Wild West in the Wild West days of the kingdom.
Wow.
So I like to think that is because of me they changed the rules to that you have to be at the event actually. And mm,
Well, how did that rain ended up?
well, that was kind of cool. I mean, I was terrified. I mean, I was 20 for God's sake. Uh, um, it was fantastic. It was cool. It was terrifying. It was interesting. I didn't have a free weekend. Well, I think I had one free weekend for the entire reign. Well, the people I was living with, my students corridor, they were like, "Who are you, really? You come here, you're here in the weekdays and then just disappear in the weekends. Who are you?" Like, don't worry, it'll be fine. So I had my big backpack, one of those backpackers bag, just packed with my garbs, and then I had like all the things that needed washing. I had them at the top, just change that, and had everything packed for the entire reign. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but because we didn't have, there wasn't hadn't been a royal presence in the entire kingdom for a very long time. I mean, we were part of East Kingdom, and that's, I mean, New York and the entire of Europe. So, well, we had to do our thing. One of the good things with reigning with someone you're not tied to is that you can split up. So we shared the the events schedule. Just could have events separately.
Yeah. I mean, when I was queen, yep. Mm.
Chin chin.
Should have wine. So I think that reign I did. We did the most events together, and a couple of years later, I became the Princess of Nordmark, and we actually did split up more, just because that's kind of how our lives were. And I must agree with you. I mean, I think we covered a bigger amount of events, and but yeah, I was not as crazy as you. It wasn't every weekend. Maybe once. I think I evented like once a month. I went to an event, and my colleagues were complaining that all I did was travel. So I can imagine what your fellow
Yes.
students were doing. It's crazy.
Mhm.
That's
It
really
was kind of good too because I mean, when you're 20 and a student, you can travel quite cheap.
yeah.
So I got those cheap flying tickets. I mean, travel for 200 kronor to anywhere in Sweden by then.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. With a fly for 200 crowns, anywhere in Sweden for a while. Oh, nice.
That was really nice.
Hmm.
So, well, it seems like you had enough fun as queen that you stayed with us
Yeah.
30 years later.
Yeah.
Um,
And we thought that reigning a second time was like, no, I want to do this properly. I want to do this again to stay clear of the traps I fell in, and Elfin fell in as well, because it's difficult. It's taking care of people. It's taking care of a kingdom, and not not being stupid, which you can be from time to time. It's okay, that happens. So to reign a second time was kind of nice because by then I knew what to do.
and I guess it wasn't every weekend then.
No, 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 no.
No. I agree with you. I mean, sitting on the thrones, it's kind of a job. People just see the glamorous side of the reign, when you're sit on the throne and people are being nice to you and so on. And it's a lot of paperwork.
It is.
Um,
It is.
and it's a lot of, always having your eyes on you.
Mhm.
Everybody is constantly kind of watching you and deciding if you're a good queen or not.
Mhm.
And that is, I guess that's just part of the game, and I didn't mind it. Did you mind it?
Oh, not really. I was like, I was again, I was 20. I was like, oh, wow.
Moving forward from your first reign and your second reign, what is the last memory you have, the last really magical moment in the SCA that you can think of?
The latest.
The latest, yes, the latest.
There's so many things actually. I enjoy, coming to an event on Friday night, just driving up there, meeting all the friends I haven't seen in a while. I enjoy that sitting in the feast hall at 2 o'clock in the night, thinking I could go to bed now, or I could just don't go to bed. It'll be perfectly fine. I enjoy just hanging out with people. I enjoy taking a nap between lunch and court, just because you're okay. It's okay to do that.
Those naps are important.
They are. They are. But truly magical. I think any event can be truly magical because it's what you do with it. I mean, sometimes a truly magical moment in the SEA is when you're walking through an encampment, for example, and you realize that, well, this could easily be 1325 or something like that, as well as 2019, because this is so historical, so magical.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
can't
then,
see any modern stuff,
no,
or
exactly.
you kind of get blind to the modern stuff
Yeah.
that are.
You just sift through them. You don't see them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think another truly magical moment is when you do something clearly anachronistic. When you have a folk song or a theater, no, some kind of play, or just being silly. It's also clearly a good magical moment.
Because you do a lot of folk songs and you do a lot of theater in the SEA.
I do, yeah. I do a lot of more theater out of the SEA as well too.
Yeah.
I haven't done as much theatre in the SEA as I would like to. That'd probably be something to work with.
Well, I can see a future there.
Mhm.
Yes.
No, but I've been playing with the same theatre group for like 25 years or so in Uppsala.
Yes, in your mundane
Mm.
world. So it's not strange that you take that into the SEA. But what more do you do in the SEA? I mean, you are so much more than just having done 2 reigns. You're a pelican.
Do you need anything more? No. I I have a solid background in the 4-H, the Young Farmers Association. So I'm a typical, in Swedish we say föreningsmänniska, society person,
Yeah,
a club person, a person who works with clubs.
Mm.
I just end up in different boards and in event stuff, and I've done like more events than I can count, I think. Yeah. And well, I've been seneschal for Nordmark. I am seneschal of my shire, Ulfberget. Well, I do stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're kind of the typical pelican in that way.
Yeah.
Doing events, doing the paperwork, doing all that stuff around, like not just the hands-on stuff on events. I do know that you do that too, but you also do all that stuff around that people might not know about or notice as much if you're not into that stuff. So We were speaking about your last magical moment, and we were speaking about, the sitting and hanging, coming there Friday night.
Mm.
So I'm guessing this last year has been hard on you, as it has been hard on me.
It's sad, but I think I do a lot of things. I I always find something to do, and I know that there is another event coming up sooner or later.
Mhm.
So I can. I think I can. I don't think that the past year has been that hard on me because I'm looking forward. I'm just seeing what will become, what will come in the future,
Mhm.
rather.
Have you done any SEA things during this year, or has it more been like, okay, I
Hmm.
can't go to events, so I'll
Well,
do.
actually, we in Ulfberget now we had an event, a small event, an event this summer. Actually, we had a Arn rally.
Ah,
For
yeah.
those of you who don't know, Arn is lead character in a book, a couple of books of by Jan Guillou. He's like a super knight who's do super knighty stuff. It's like in 12th century or so. Uh,
Yeah, it's around the Crusades, and this super knight hero, he goes down doing the Crusades and do knightly
yeah.
stuff, and then comes home and educates Sweden. The books are good. The books are
Yeah,
really
I like
good.
them.
I actually also enjoyed the movies. I think I enjoyed the movies even more knowing how many SEA people there are in the movies.
Yeah. Oh god, and I actually saw the movies in Cairo because
Oh,
I have a friend who lived there for a while, and she was like, "Oh, when you come, you need to bring something from home." And we, since they're shot over here in Västergötland, around Skara, Barnhem, Kinnekulle, sort of that. And we were sitting there, three girls from Västergötland, is crying over all the beautiful nature shots. Like, oh, that's home. Oh, that's close to that place. Oh, that I know that rock. Ooh, like
wow.
that. So, well, it was kind
Yeah,
of nice.
because the story in the books and the movie that came from the books are taking place around where you
Yeah.
live and grew up. Um,
Um,
I can
and
I can
like,
understand that. It's
yeah, like 10 years ago or so, there was a really big touristy into tourist industry around those books in the area. And we always have to. It's always fun to make fun of it, right? Because that's what you do. So we had like an Arn rally this summer, where very very Corona safe, a car rally in the well, the hembygdsföreningarna. What do you call them in English? Is there an English word for hembygdsförening?
I need to check that up. If there is, there will
Countryside.
be a translation down there somewhere.
A car rally for one of those is like we all meet in separate cars at one parking place somewhere, and then we have a lead car that goes first in the caravan, talking and we're stopping at different places and telling about stuff. So we actually did an event like that, not a proper event, of course, but just there were like five or six cars. People came from Aros and from Holmrike, just because there was something happening.
Yep.
So it was like 14, 15 people in all, looking at the dome in Skara. We
Mhm.
were at the old monasteries in Gudhem and Varnhem, and generally looking at old churches and castles.
That was a fun thing, and I do hope that we see more of those even after the plague is gone, because looking at
Yeah.
historical stuff, that's kind of like a part of our society, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, any group can do that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very an easy thing to do, and just stay with your separate car groups. Just don't lick each other or anything. Just
Yes. If you could choose a magic power to take into the SEA, what would that magic power be? You can only use it in the SEA, not your mundane life.
time travel, perhaps. You
Oh.
know, be the one who, at the beginning of the party and on the feast, saying, "Okay, everyone, grab on to your cups now, because we're traveling to 1305 in 3, 2, 1. That'll be nice,
That would
and
be
be
so
able to do that.
good.
We got 3 hours. Come on, people, don't kill anyone in 3 hours now.
That's not fun.
Mm?
Sorry, I have a cat that's meowing.
Oh.
Sluta skrik, kom hit. Yeah, there he was.
A quick cat by.
Yeah, drive by.
And my cat is out in the study. Is sleeping
your
in the
cat
box.
isn't your cat isn't as my cat. My cat kind of lives here.
No, my cat hates me. And actually, he slept in my knee the other day, and I think I was very, very flattered. But it turned out that I had the heat blanket in my knee as well. So I think he loved the heat blanket more than me.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But he does love your boyfriend, right?
Yeah. The cat and the Baron, they're like inseparable.
So sorry for the cat interruption. That kind of happens here on Annoyed Kitten. I have an itty cat.
You have to live up to your name.
Fur.
Yeah. By the way, you have a very, very nice crown on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the same to you.
Oh, thank you.
So this is for the people that watch this and doesn't know so much about the different titles in our society. So I have been queen once, which means I have the title countess, and I get to have this kind of crown that has
Battled.
Yes, embattled.
Embattled.
Yes. And this crown has little cats and little roses. Close up. And now I also have put on little skulls.
Nice.
Because, well, why not have a cat and a skull crown? And it's made by the amazing Baroness Estrid. That was the first Baroness of Nordmark, and is now a professional jeweler, I guess is her correct title.
Lovely artist, yes.
Yes.
She also made my crown. I'm going to take off now. Let's show you better. And I've been queen twice, so I have strawberry leaves.
That is a lovely crown. I'm going to take off mine actually too, because usually I have it with little padded, like a little circlet, and that makes it very comfortable, since this is kind of like this. But I didn't find mine, so now I have this lovely little mark.
And now, dear audience, you see what happens if you have a heavy crown and then you don't have a padding on.
Yes. So padding is good, but I mean, look at her work. That is just exquisite. So I'm gonna put a link down to her page in the description, because I think everybody should go in, look at her stuff, and say ooh and ah. So speaking about heavy crowns, that is also one thing that I guess you recognize as having to sit on a throne and having to actually wear the crowns. I mean, as a countess or a duchess, you can kind of choose if you want to put it on or not. When you're a princess or a queen, it's kind of expected of you.
Yeah, but something that many people don't know, I think, is that we actually have had different crowns. I mean, Drachenwald has been a kingdom for 30 years, or 28. We've had different crowns during different reigns. I mean, it's a thing that wears out. I mean, it's jewelry that you actually use for quite a while, so they become worn out for different reasons. So the first crowns, when Drachenwald became a kingdom, they were made by Fru Sofia, a jeweler in Gotland, and they were like just a circlet like this one, very not very flexible and very light, so they weren't that bad really. Then there was like another pair of crowns that were really huge, and I mean, I must have looked kind of okay in the one I had.
Are we talking
Elfen's
about
head,
the Nazgul crowns?
yeah, no, not that ones. They were like, these looked like flower pots, and we were really, really high and just unadorned. And I have a picture of me in that one, and I look kind of all right. But Elfin's head is so small, so he was like, he disappeared in that huge crown. So we didn't wear them that much.
That is a big crown, and yes, you look excellent in it. But I can
Yeah.
see that Elfin would kind of disappear under it.
Mm-hmm. But then, well, I think they've gone through at least like 3 sets of crowns in that period.
And I do know that we still have different kinds of crowns left in the regalia,
Oh yeah.
which is basically plastic bags and plastic boxes that the king and queen drags around. It contains a lot of useful stuff. You have tokens there. You have, banners and tabards and stuff like that to dress people, so you can fill with Drachenwald colors. But it also has a lot of old stuff that we can't really get rid of because, I mean, it's part of our history, right?
Yeah.
It's someone has done this and put in a lot of love in it, and it's not that broken. It's just a little bit too worn, and we got something new, and now we use that. So do know that we have at least 3. No, wait, 4. It's 4 now because it just changed again.
Many things end up with a historian as well, just in care.
There should be a Drachenwald museum somewhere.
In Bertrich's garage, perhaps.
Yep. Yeah, we should start and try and start maybe an online museum. If anybody wants to do that, I will encourage this strongly.
Do it.
Yes. So we were before the cat interrupted and we started talking about all the crowns, which is really interesting. We were talking about the silly questions, and I have another silly question. If you were a drink, what kind of drink would you be?
Beska tonic, perhaps.
Oh, bitter tonic.
No, beska droppar and tonic.
Beska droppar. I don't know if there's an English translation for that drink.
No.
It's a very Swedish
when
thing.
I give beska to people, they just shout at me and tell me to go to hell. But no, something bitter and something sweet. Perhaps a Campari soda and Campari juice, perhaps would be me.
I can totally agree with that. I don't think you're bitter, but I can see that you have a little bitey side.
There's no actual alcohol. That's cynic. So
yeah.
I'll go for bitter.
What do you want to see more of during events? What would you like to have more of?
I liked the time when we had lots of singing and dancing at the actual feast. More songs, more stupid songs, more fun stuff, more crazy. I mean, there is a secret service in Nordmark. Hasn't been out for a while, but for some times they did a lot of fun stuff, and that would be fun to do again, to see again. I mean,
yes, because you wouldn't know anything about.
I don't know anything about. No, but more silly stuff. I think we become over the years the society have become more historical, more mature. Absolutely, but we need to be more silly. We're anachronistic. Let's do that.
Yes,
I really enjoyed the fact that every party looks like a bad Hollywood movie that's been put together by a script editor who doesn't know shit. And I like that.
I do think that, and I mean, you can disagree with me now if you want to, but I think that, I mean, as a society, you kind of go through changes, and it will be kind of a natural cause to, we are a historical society that do historical stuff, so that we go up a hill towards more and more historical things will happen. But I do agree with you also that that doesn't mean you can't take silly with you.
Mm. Exactly.
And maybe we need to do more solo stuff, because my next question was, what do you think is needed for the SCA to continue to recruit people and keep them with us?
Yeah, I think something for everyone. I think there must be something for almost everyone. And we need younger people to recruit. So we get the younger people in the society. For let's face it, we're like around 50, everyone now, more or less. And well, I don't see that many 16 years old
No.
coming in droves, just starry-eyed, wanting to become queens one day. We need to find them.
Yeah, and that means we first need to find the ones that can recruit them. Because I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm way over 40, and I don't think a 16-year-old will find me a cool person to hang with for a whole evening.
I hang with 16 years olds most of the time. I'm a high school teacher, and they don't think I'm cool at all.
No.
So
I mean, I can just think back when I was 16. I mean, people over 40, they were like, they were just boring. And I don't think that had changed. I mean, I don't think I'm boring. But a 16-year-old will probably think I am dead boring.
We're sorry to all the cool 16-year-olds that actually think that we are cool. We love you too.
Yes, we do. There are a few that might think that we are cool. But I still don't see that they will want to hang with us for, like, a week. They want probably to do other stuff too.
Yeah.
But we do have a couple of teenagers in our society right now.
Mm.
I do know that during Cudgel there was kind of like a whole pack of them moving around, and I was so similar during Double Wars. So I guess we have to.
But the problem is in many societies that keeping the kids. We have a lot of kids that come from from members, actual kids of members. Yes,
Make our own.
who grow up and suddenly become like 16, 17, 18 and think like this thing is kind of dull, so they leave. We need to get them to stay.
I guess we have to continue to be interesting and silly and fun. I do have a couple of questions more. What craft have you never tested but would love to learn? Is there a craft that you...
Yeah, I'm kind of a stealthy crafter. People don't see me as a crafter, I think, but I do actually. I sew all my stuff. This is supposed to be said in a Småland dialect. Jag syr mina egna kläder, as Lena Philipsson said, which is kind of interesting because I had really bad grades in shop in sewing. Okay, this is going to be very Swedish, but I had tvåa i syslöjd.
Wow.
And that's kind of...
That's like...
It's a very nice F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're worse than me. I had at least a 3. That's kind of like approved. Not good, but approved.
I had a 5 in woodshop. So that I'm much better with the wood techniques than when I was with sewing. But thanks to the SCA, I actually learned how to make dresses, and nowadays I make wedding dresses for people. So I mean,
I seen your dresses. They are very well executed. They fit you. They look nice, and they look historical, correct?
Yeah. Thank you. Because I don't really aim at historical correctness all the time. I just aim for...
I guess you succeed by luck then, because you do very nice 15th century or 14th century.
Thank you. Yeah, but I don't think I would like to try something like smocking. I've tried smocking. I failed. So I threw it away and I never tried it again. But I would love to try that again. I would like to make hats. That'd be fun.
Yes, hats.
Mm. Um, yeah, I would like to try to make shoes. That'd be fun too.
When this plague is over, I mean, we have had a year now with very, very, very different SEA, since we can't meet in person as much, and not in big groups. We have done a lot of online things. Do you think that the SEA will change after this plague? Do you think we will keep it? And what do you think we will take with us and actually continue to do?
I think we can take with us the easy accessibility with with the Zooms and the Teams and the Skypes and stuff like that. And for example, when we had the university, the Drachenwald online university, when you suddenly can have like 500 people at an event, and they don't, you know, they don't need any food. So,
No, exactly. Then
you can have a really really good event without having a in-person event.
you don't need to buy toilet paper. You don't need to
No,
cook food for
exactly. You know,
them.
clean afterwards. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. People can clean their own square. It's perfectly fine. No, I think we will probably be keeping, some events like once or twice a year or so, just because we can do that. But I think that we will be happy to come back to meeting people again for real.
Yeah, I don't think we will stop doing that.
No.
I mean, everybody I talk to kind of like, yeah, the online is okay, but it's sort of like, CPR on my longing for the real SEA.
And sometimes you actually, when you see the good thing with having events online is that people that couldn't come at all otherwise, because they perhaps they work this weekend, or they well, it's too far to travel, they don't have any money to travel, they can still come to the event. And I see that in school when I teach online. Of course it's awful, and most students do not learn as good as they would have if they had proper lessons. But there are a few that, they were on the brink of leaving school at
Yeah.
all. And suddenly they can, stay at home and go to school at the same time. And that helps them. And I think the SEA, or any society, have the same good thing, that okay, I can keep up this interest without actually having to leave my home, because there's always an event somewhere that I can go to online.
It's a sort of a shorter step to take than,
Mm.
have to pack your stuff. I mean, traveling takes money, energy, all that. Do you see it as a possible way to recruit people?
Perhaps I wouldn't. I would. I don't think I would have found the SCA in a way like this. But I'm not. I'm a very analog person. I'm like, but at the same time, there's someone for everything. I think that there are people who has gone to their first event online. So why not?
Yep. Why not?
Mm.
That was all my questions. Is there something that you feel I have missed asking you, that you're like, I'm so longing to tell Drachenwald this?
I'm very proud of Drachenwald. I am very proud to have served Drachenwald, and I'm very proud to be Duchess Drachenwald. Oh, it gives me not a purpose. Perhaps I'm not that pretentious, but I think it's cool, and I'm happy it was. I'm happy I had that opportunity, and I love my kingdom. It's cool. It has its well, it has its flaws, of course, because it's a bloody big kingdom. It's entire Europe and some other parts around satellites. Of course, we cannot have the same ideas about everything. Of course, we have different languages. For fuck's sake, it's like it's different countries.
Yes.
Yes, we can't all of us can't think the same thing, but we try. We try to do our best,
Yeah.
and we enjoy this diversity. And I think we far away from the mothership of the United States to be able to do whatever we like in a nice manner. It's like the slogan says, Drachenwald, where your persona comes from.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
That is a little bit cocky, but I love
yeah,
it.
it was really big, but
Let me
but
tell you that when I visited Great Western War and I wore that T-shirt, I think the only way I got away with it because I had a crown at the time.
I once nearly got attacked at a baseball game in the States because I said that my parents' farm was older than the United States.
It's like, oops.
Mm.
Well, it's kind of true though.
I'm sorry to all the American listeners. We love you too.
Yes, we love America, but it's
But
fun.
we love Drachenwald even more. Yeah.
Yes, we don't, and it's fun to tease.
Hmm.
It is.
Hmm.
So, Vanna, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
You do know that I love you to bits and all the work you do for Drachenwald. So, well,
Should we put on the crowns again so we look like regal before we end
yeah,
it?
let's do that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit up more straight. I tend to kind of glide in this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sitting at the kitchen table with a very, very straight back. Yeah.
That's good and regal. And we have the accompany of a cat choir behind us.
Yeah.
So let's end this with both looking very regal and say goodbye, Drachenwald.
Goodbye, Drachenwald. Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wrist. Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wrist.
I'm doing the opposite, but anyhow.